All right, we promised you we're going to share some details of something that happened last Saturday with you as part of a bigger conversation about how people use motorbikes in the cities. You find this in a lot of the cities, sometimes at particular times, during funerals and other occasions, and there's so much indiscipline ongoing with motorbikes in our country. Is the police overwhelmed by their actions so that they can't do anything, because sometimes they seem to even watch them helplessly? It's 19 minutes after 7. You're welcome to this conversation. My colleague, senior colleague, I must clarify, Mr. Ando up here is joining us. He's our photojournalist, and he's an award-winning one.
Thank you.
Of course. Good morning, Mr. Ando.
Yeah.
And DSP Freeman Tame is one of the spokespersons for the Ghana Police Service. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Mama V.
All right. So, Ms. Ando, I'll ask where you went last Saturday, and we'll show some of the pictures. But this is one of the photographs that you took.
Yes.
What is even in the background?
Yes.
DSP Freeman Tame, these motorbikes, sometimes we see you arrest some of the commands, at least in the Greater Accra region. I think I've seen the Nima police station make several arrests.
All the commands.
But what's happening? Like, is the police still in charge? Like the motorbikes, do you have control over them?
We have control over them.
You do?
Surely.
So
we
how
are not
come
overwhelmed.
we see all the indiscipline, the things that they do on the motorbikes around town?
See, the fact that crime is still going on does not mean that the police have lost the fight. You know, criminals are active. The police are equally active. What is important is that at every point in time, you get them arrested. So for sure, we are in charge. When hundreds of people are committing a crime at a particular point in time, you have to assess the situation before you go in. You can adopt a strategy of arresting 2, 3, 4 of them to serve as deterrent for others. We are still biting. No doubt about that. So it's very, very important for me to make this point clear.
You're still biting?
We are still biting.
We kind of don't feel the bites.
Well, just get to any police station and see the number of motorbikes that have been confiscated. Get to the prisons and see the number of hardened criminals that have been jailed. Get everywhere and see the number of criminals behind bars. You need to assess the situation. You need to weigh the pros and cons. The prime duty of the police is to protect life and property. So in the course of effecting arrest or enforcing the law, if it will pose danger to innocent people, you have to revise your strategy. And that strategy means you have to defer some of the arrests so that in order to protect the greater majority who are law-abiding. That is what happened last Saturday, because there are other innocent road users or law-abiding road users. So at the end of the day, 3 persons were arrested. Because if you want to go in and charge fully on the deviant, you end up creating problem for the majority who are law-abiding.
I'll come back
so
to
it's a matter of strategy. It's a matter of...
So sometimes you leave them, but
you defer.
You've not left them. It's a strategy.
No, it's a strategy, actually. You have to put your intelligence on the ground. I've been told that somewhere, even on drugs, they were taking alcohol and other drugs.
You've gone into the specific case, so let's introduce that properly. Last Saturday, Mr. Ando, you were at Aveno, and you came into contact with these guys riding motorbikes recklessly. Tell us about it.
Yes, it was really dangerous and exciting too.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah, the reason why I'm saying this is that last Saturday I planned to go to Dansuma last stop, Lefe, to monitor the floodgate that Ghana Water Company has opened.
Okay.
So I was at the place, and somebody called me and told me that motor riders had blocked the Accra-Achimota Circle Road, and they were doing some display for the informant. He was happy with that. So the moment I got the information, I picked a taxi.
So this is the major circle Accra-Achimota Road that
Yes.
had been blocked.
Yes.
And can I say, by the way, that the police training college is also located on the stretch of the
Yes,
road?
it's not far, it is within the area. So the moment I got there, I saw, many motor riders, they were just riding anyhow. And, initially the issue of the law didn't come into my mind because I just looked at how people were lined up.
You were admiring, everybody
and
was loving
They
it.
were enjoying. So I saw one of them actually doing some exchanges with some of the drivers. Then my attention was drawn to the fact that they were actually causing, danger to other road users. Then I started looking at the issues that will help me to get, few shots, and then I actually spent much time with them.
Okay, so let's see what you saw with your eyes through your cameras, some of the pictures that you captured. So Fred is going to roll some of the pictures for us to see. So, Ms. Anna, this was a display that you were also enjoying yourself.
Initially, but when they started doing it dangerously, because you see the people, they are enjoying it.
But that's a lot of people lined up.
Yes, hundreds of people, and even the mourners themselves were many, and then many people also
over
joined them.
2,000.
So this was at a funeral.
Yes, the motor riders.
Point of correction, not at a funeral. It's a funeral procession. They were actually going to bury somebody in the cemetery.
No, the person lives at where. Closer to the intersection.
So they were not having a funeral there. They were
So
actually,
this was the funeral procession.
Yes, that is the
Okay, and then the
funeral
display was part of it.
Yes. So the person who died was a colleague motor rider who lost his life through a fatal motor accident.
Okay.
So they were there to just do some display or whatever. And that one, even the mourners were so many, and the riders display also attracted huge crowd, and they were all enjoying what was going on. That is the person who died.
Okay. So let me come back to you, DSP. What's the rule on the use of riding of motorbikes, even if it's a funeral procession?
well, you don't need special permission. Let's go into the Road Traffic Offences Act. Definitely, you have to put on safety gadget. Your helmet is very, very important. It should be a registered motorbike. You need rider's license as well. And your action on the road should not pose danger to other road users. Basically, you're supposed to respect the Road Traffic Act, sections in the Road Traffic Act. That is all.
So clearly, when you see a picture like this,
when you see,
can you take a look at
they are all
what's in the
serious
background?
violations of the Act.
But this was happening on the road.
On the road, that is why right from the onset, I told you that they are all law enforcement issues. Law enforcement issues require strategies. You just don't go in because this just happened.
Okay, so can I come back to, was the police aware this was happening last Saturday when it was happening?
Definitely, we had information prior to the occurrence of this nasty spectacle. The police wouldn't know. But right there, the police had information, moved in. We had a few picked up. We had a few motorbikes seized, confiscated. So as I speak now, this suspects are in police custody.
So I'm not cutting you, but I just want to find. Did you see police when you were there? What time were you there?
They were helpless. This one I will go.
So you saw police officers there, but they were helpless.
I saw
but at least some people were arrested.
All of them passed. This one I will go against my.
No problem. I mean, you are describing what you saw, so that's fair.
I was
there.
So
you said you saw police.
Yeah, the time I got there, there was no policeman.
Okay.
And in the process, I saw some of them coming, and they were helpless because some of the mourners were so wild, others were just displaying their skills, and they were many. So 3 policemen were there, and I saw them even pleading with some of them.
Okay.
Yeah, they were just pleading because even they themselves saw it wasn't safe to do anything. they were helpless.
So
Is it only
whilst
3
you were
policemen?
there, you didn't see any arrests?
No, I didn't see any arrest. But what I saw was, I saw one police car going, and I saw one motorbike. I didn't know where they picked that motorbike from, but I saw one of them was, passing. I didn't see whether they brought it from somewhere or they arrested the person within.
Okay, but yes, Freeman Tete, you say you arrested some 3 persons that
3
day.
persons were arrested. What I want to point out is that you have to assess the situation, then devise a strategy for it. That is why I always say that there will be deferment. So we have so many ways of handling such situations. It wouldn't be safe at that time for even the life of the policeman, as well as the life of other people.
So I take it that this was assessed.
Surely.
The police thought that it wasn't safe.
It wasn't safe.
What was the conclusion?
What our priority at that time was to clear the road. So eventually the police managed to clear the road for traffic to flow.
After how long?
Well, I won't be in a position to, because I had briefing from the district commander for Nima. So I wouldn't be in a position to say after how long. But at the end of the day, sanity prevailed. But that does not suggest that we've ended the operation. Because I just don't want to preempt what the police will be doing later, because everybody is listening.
So these 3 persons that you arrested, what would you be charging them for?
For inconsiderate driving or breach of the Traffic Offences Act. Driving that poses or riding that poses danger to other road users. Mostly, the charges will be framed around such acts.
But you know that we're fortunate that Mr. Yando was at this particular venue. This is not the only place that these things happens. You would see it very often in the capital. We see it. I see it. When you're driving, you see it. And sometimes you're actually praying when you're driving that you don't come across some of these I also
believe that you also see policemen on the rampage, in quote, going after this rider.
I haven't seen that. I haven't witnessed that before.
I think your newsroom has been covering some of these operations.
No, when you say operations, yes.
Those are operations.
Those that you might, but I'm saying that on very busy days, you find that a group of people are going to bury someone. You find these guys on motorbikes, and they are controlling us other road users. They're like, back, do this. Do you see it as police officers?
I see it personally. I see these things. So what is important is that at the end of the day, we go after some of these people at a time that they don't expect us to act. You see, those things require strategies. They require time, and they require patience to organize ourselves for them. Because if all of a sudden you meet them and start acting, it can create problem for yourself. It can create problem for other road users. So we time ourselves, plan an operation, and go after them. And then aside of that, we also engage community leaders, religious leaders, where those people reside. We try to talk to them. So that is why sometimes even the chief imam and his people engage those guys and prevail upon them not to engage in those acts. Because we need to take the fight to them. Not only that, we also need to go to them and advise them against such behavior, because it poses danger to them personally and other road users.
Are these strategies working, would you say?
Surely. At the end of the day, when you get to know that 1 or 2 people are being picked, that Ghanaians by nature, our attitude. Some of them just become lawless by nature. Aside of being lawless, some of them feel that, look, we are getting excited about certain things, so let's continue doing it. But at the end of the day, the police will continue to act and make sure that we cannot eradicate it totally. But when you have a few of them arrested, I believe others will start advising themselves. So this is an unfortunate incident. I would believe that the community policing unit will start engaging these opinion leaders to start talking to them. And then we also put our strategies in place to have some of these guys arrested. This is not the first time that we are warning the public to desist from that. We'll continue to warn them. And when the need arises, we'll pick 1 or 2 of them at our convenience, and then for them to go and face the law.
So, there's another picture that we just put up. It's in the background now. Are these the police officers that you saw?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at this point, what were they doing?
They were trying to convince them, just advise them.
So this was like negotiation,
Yes.
kind of.
Yes, because
It's not negotiation.
But it's not a bad thing to negotiate. I mean, if you feel you are outnumbered or you feel that the situation is overwhelming, you need a nice strategy. And negotiation is not bad in my view, even though I'm not a police
If
officer.
you say negotiation, I see the police have just gone there to negotiate. We go there to warn them and also advise them to desist from those acts because their action poses danger to other road users. And those that we can arrest, we arrest them.
So why can't you arrest everybody? If everybody is being lawless on the road,
it is not possible.
and you are
Operation-wise,
law enforcement officers, just take all of them. Is that too hard?
Operation-wise, not prudent to do that because
Why not?
don't forget that there are other road users. You need to strategize, and I'll continue to emphasize on the point that at every point in time, before you embark on such operation, you need to strategize.
Isando,
Yeah.
there's another picture that you have to explain. What were they smoking?
ganja.
Wow.
Any evidence?
But no,
The evidence is in the stick.
No, my
He could
friend,
smell it, I'm
yes,
sure.
Maybe you suspect they were smoking marijuana, but if you're emphatic,
but at least what I was there. I was there.
And you know what ganja means?
I don't have.
He knows-
I don't
he
have-
knows
even the
how
police, when
it's-
we arrest, we take those substances to the forensic lab for assessment before we confirm that. For them to confirm that it's truly is
Yes, people
marijuana.
might
But
say,
you were
do you,
not
do
there
you,
only
do
to
you
suspect
take
that-
him to the forensic
You were-
lab?
you were
or
not there
somebody
to
sniffs
take-
it
No,
to
you was
testify?
Emphatic
couldn't
that they're
arrest them.
smoking ganja. That means you are an expert.
Okay.
No,
So
you,
wait.
you
analysis.
couldn't. Your
So
men
hang
were
on.
there.
Hang on.
No,
So
you are
David,
not being
you
fair
saw
to them.
some
Yeah, I
people
saw
smoking,
something suspected
and you
to be.
suspect
Yes.
that
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
smoking Indian
Yeah.
hemp.
That is
Were
exactly
there
what I want
police
you to
officers
They were
present
there.
at this point?
They were there.
So they saw what you saw.
Yeah, even-
Did you see
even-
them make any arrests?
They didn't. Even the if you see they are ladies, right? The men were not doing. I didn't see any of them do. They were only displaying their skills.
Yes.
Some were
Skills that
arrested.
when put in the proper use can even give them money and the nation as a whole. They were just doing
You
it
can
on
even
the street.
verify from Nima police station. 3 people were picked by the police.
No, that's
And through that,
that's
we'll get
fine.
to others.
I'm just
You look for the
fascinated that
ringleaders.
the SP
That is what we
Freeman I
have
am
to
just
do.
fascinated that if about 20 people are doing the wrong thing, you arrest
cannot arrest
just a
everybody.
few and I'm thinking,
No.
why not?
You see, you get a few that will help you to get to others.
How?
That is how
I mean, if you
it's
let them go and you arrest them later, what would you be charging them with?
think a lot of evidence. People kill, abscond, we get them later. So you see, when it comes to law
Mr. Yando,
enforcement,
did you see the
a lot
police
of things
officers
go
take pictures at this point? Were they taking pictures?
They were helpless. How can they take pictures?
Mr. Ando.
He's describing what he saw. He's describing what he saw.
His
the
opinion.
moment I saw them, I said, okay, I was just going to.
We were
when it-
helpless. I don't
Yeah.
think we were helpless.
But that's his
We
description
were
of what he
able
saw.
to clear the road. At least 3 commands were actively involved in this operation. The Dima District Command was there, the Kutubabi District Command was there, and the Tesano District Command was there. So under no circumstances would the police be helpless in this situation. Maybe at the initial stage, a few policemen happened to be there. Obviously, for 2,000 or more, 2,000 plus number, the first 1, 2, 3 responder would definitely be helpless. That is why they have to call for reinforcement. When reinforcement came, the situation normalized. At that point, arrests were made, 6 or more motorbikes were seized. You
So,
have the
Mr. Ando,
camera.
so,
Just
so,
go
Mr.
to
Ando,
Nima
Chief,
and get that
So,
information.
Mr.
that
Ando,
confirmation.
at what point did you witness the situation had been brought under control?
See, the monarchs divided themselves into 3.
Okay.
And when that thing occurred, they were just leaving the place. I think it was the time that the police enforcement came.
Okay.
And that time I had also left because when the body was in what they call in possession, one of the factions used the industrial area Avenue route.
Okay.
And then the other one also used the circle.
Okay.
And the last one used Joy FM route.
Okay.
So there were 3 divisions. And when these people left, then I think the place became calm. That is, I suspect, where the police came and they were very active.
Okay.
But the ones that they met me there, in fact.
No, and it's fair. Congratulations to you. These pictures are rare. You hardly would find these photographs.
It's an award-winning picture.
Yes, award-winning, and we will help the police.
But those pictures will obviously help the police, and I believe we might have taken a few pictures ourselves. So what is?
Do you find these pictures useful?
Very, very useful. Very, very useful.
What would you do? I mean, this happened on Saturday. They've done it and they're gone.
No, but don't forget that we have our informant on the ground. So when things like that happen and we want to get to the bottom of it or want to have the ringleaders arrested, we'll definitely put our intelligence on the ground. So it's not a matter of going, circling everybody, arresting about 2,000 people and bringing them. No, operation-wise, it's not advisable, it's not prudent, and it's even dangerous for other road users. That is why we strategize, and I'll continue to use the word strategizing. So some arrests can be deferred. Once life has not been lost, a few damages happen. What is important is that life has not been lost. But at the end of the day, a crime has been committed. Certain acts that took place amount to crime or the offense. So we'll get to the bottom of all this thing and have some of these ringleaders. Some of these people might have been known in the community. So you can even invite them to come over, to come and explain the action.
You work with evidence.
Dialogue.
You work with evidence.
Dialoguing is part of
what shows that I was displaying on Saturday in the road, and
I don't think
was being lawless.
It's being fair to the police to be answering these questions. I don't think it's fair to us.
I'm just saying that when you see the person do the wrong thing, just carry the person.
We've been trained, we are professionals.
Instead of defer the arrest.
We are professionals. We are law enforcers. We have the constitutional mandate to protect everybody in this country. Life and property.
All right, we'll have to leave the conversation here. So, Mr. Yanda, when are you publishing these pictures? When would we find it on myjoy9.com?
Yeah, they are there.
Okay.
And I want to tell my friend that this thing is very common because in Accra, I think people place high premium on funerals. During weekends, you go to some, you see all the roads are blocked, and sometimes they don't have permission and they just do it anyhow. So I'm appealing to you, as far as you are, just going to do something about this one. It shouldn't be this one alone. Go through town during the weekend, see, how many people are illegally using the roads or, doing the things that against the law. Bring them to the,
I don't think this has escaped the attention of the police. We are all part of the system. We know these things are happening.
You say double your effort.
Well, that is why you find commissioners even coming from their offices to lead operations to apprehend these motor riders. You find senior police officers leading operation. So this is nothing new. The police are not helpless. And the fact that the 2,000 people were not captured on the street does not suggest that the police were inactive or inoperative at that particular point in time. What is important is that there's a security breach. The police were there to restore normalcy, have a few people arrested to serve a deterrent for others, and we'll continue to go after them anytime, anywhere, if I'm permitted to use those.
I'm just
phrases.
Fascinated about,
obviously
the
you'll be
deferring
fascinated.
the arrest. That's all. Maybe it's the first time I'm hearing this.
Defer the arrest.
Okay, so
but that does not suggest that when it's convenient to arrest some people, you will not do that. That is why, at the end of the day, 3 people were picked because we have to do that at our convenience.
Okay.
so that we don't create problem for others.
All right, let me read some messages, because people are also fascinated about the pictures they are seeing and about the conversation. Charles from Dodi Papasi says, Mama Viv, these riders and mourners are people planning to cause serious problems on the road. The police are telling us they can't mobilize themselves to stop such acts, considering Tesano Barracks and far from where the thing happened. Charles from Dodi Papas is sending that message. This one says, all right, you think that the police officers acting as if they are on top of such situations. The point is, Ghana Police Service should be up and doing. These things always happen in our communities, and stop any evidence behavior. There's everyday evidence that some police personnel take bribes on our streets, and they are still there. Frank in Kibi, when you see them take pictures, man, you need your evidence. John from Sekwa in BA. Oh, okay. Says no promos, no LPMs, no programs or activities for Father's Day. God has seen women in the media, but seen the men in media more. Your kins are in kerosene now, soaking to avoid breaking up when he unleashes his wrath on you. Whatever it is that you're saying, Father's Day is coming. Somehow we'll celebrate it. Okay, Frank, I've read your message. Okay, this one says, okay, no, not necessarily related to what we're discussing now. So I'm going to, carry on to the next conversation. Okay, so we have to end the conversation here. I'd like to say thank you. Can we put these people, because sometimes the displays are really nice. Do you think we can make positive use of what they do somehow?
What do you expect me to say? A law enforcer? We are looking for offenses.
I'm just saying, look at the people who are lined up.
Look
at the people who are lined up watching them.
Life was passing, and there was a policeman leading the thing. So if they have these skills,
our responsibility is to make sure that there is safety, there is sanity, and there's order on the road.
Okay.
As to what we have to
integrate them.
There's a criteria.
Look at the people who are lined up just watching them. I mean, we could have, we could just move them to a certain part every Saturday and say display, let people come and watch.
Skillful.
That is not the work of the police, actually.
They were very skillful.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, officer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ando.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to some other issues. Joy News' investigative journalist Manasseh Azaria Winning, who produced the Jida Sada and Court Chronicles, returns from Burkina Faso with something more scandalous than anything you've ever heard, involving that one public office holder you probably would have never imagined would ever be exposed. Here we go with something else from Manasseh on my banner. So this is on the show tomorrow, 15th of June. Stay with us, the AM show.